In 1995, psychologist Daniel Goleman wrote a book about emotional intelligence and showed us that EQ matters more than IQ when it comes to success in life, work, and relationships. Hi, I'm Doug Noll. I've spent the last 25 years teaching emotional intelligence in the most emotionally volatile environments on earth, which include maximum security prisons. So if you're someone who can't take feedback without getting defensive, or you need to be right in every argument, or make every conversation about you, I'm sorry, but you have low emotional intelligence. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The 6 signs of low emotional intelligence and what they look like in real life, and more importantly, how to fix them in a really simple, elegant way. So let's start. The first sign of low emotional intelligence is you need to be right in every argument. Every time someone corrects you, the brain reads it as a threat. The same neural pathway as physical danger lights up. It's as if you're being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. The amygdala fires, the prefrontal cortex goes offline, and what's left is pure, impulsive ego protection. This is why these people double down when they're wrong. It's not just arrogance, it's a flooded brain with no off switch. The fix isn't just to pause and reflect. That's too vague. The real fix, when you feel the urge to defend, name the emotion underneath it. Say it out loud, just to yourself. I feel embarrassed. I feel disrespected. I feel dismissed. That act of naming an emotion activates the part of your brain responsible for regulation. The flood drops in about 90 seconds, and you regain control of yourself. Here's the thing. You cannot reason your way out of a flooded brain, but you can name your way out. Here's another sign. People shut down when someone gives them feedback. Feedback, when it's not properly given, feels like an attack because the brain codes social reject in the same way it codes physical pain. Same region, same intensity. So they deflect, or they go quiet, or they come back swinging. None of that is a choice. It's not a personality defect. It's a survival response. The deeper problem is that they never separate the action from the identity. The feedback feels like it's about who they are, not what they did. The fix here is not to ask if there's something useful. That's too cognitive for a flooded state. First, name what's being felt. I feel attacked. I feel disrespected. Let the brain settle. Then and only then can you actually hear what's being said. So if you recognize any of this in someone you deal with every day, stay with me, because the fix for all 6 of these indications of low emotional intelligence isn't softer communication. It's neuroscience. So here's the third indication that somebody has low emotional intelligence. They react before they think. You've seen this before. Something small triggers a massive response. They yell, they walk out, they send the email they regret at 11 p.m. Then they wonder why people tread carefully around them. Here's what's happening in the brain. The amygdala fires before the prefrontal cortex has time to process. The emotional response arrives about 200 milliseconds before any kind of deliberative thought. By the time logic shows up, the damage is done. The common advice is go out and take a breath. Go out on the balcony. That's fine, but incomplete. What actually works is naming the emotion out loud. Matthew Lieberman and his colleagues showed in a 2007 brain scanning study that putting your own feelings into words reduces amygdala activity by more than 60%. You are literally calming your brain with language. Try it during the next reactive moment you have. Just say, I feel furious. I feel disrespected. You can do it silently to yourself and watch what happens. So real quick, if this is showing up in your work, in your teams, in your most important relationships, and you want to know exactly how to stop it, I do one-on-one coaching where I walk you through this with you directly. The link to book a call is in the description. Now let's get back into it. The 4th indicator of low emotional intelligence, people apologize without actually apologizing. I'm sorry you feel that way. I already said I'm sorry. What more do you want? These are not apologies. They are defenses wearing the costume of apology. A real apology requires the brain to do something genuinely hard. Sit with guilt, accept responsibility, and resist the urge to self-protect. Most people's nervous systems cannot tolerate that discomfort long enough to get through it. The fix is a specific structure. Say what you did, name how it affected the other person, take responsibility for it, then ask if there's anything you can do. 4 steps, no qualifiers, no buts. The moment you add a but, you've canceled everything before it. Here's what people miss about about all of these signs. They're not character flaws, they're not personality traits. They are nervous system responses, and nervous systems can be trained. We have what's called neuroplasticity. We can actually teach old dogs new tricks. Here's the fifth sign of low emotional intelligence. People don't know when they've crossed a line or a boundary. So they'll say something like, I was just joking, or they'll invalidate by saying, you're too sensitive, stop being a drama queen. These are not explanations. They are the brain trying to escape accountability by reframing your discomfort as your problem. What's actually missing is emotional perception, the ability to read someone else's emotional experience before you've already hurt them. The good news is this is a learnable skill. It's not a fixed trait. And the way to build it is after every conversation that felt off, ask one question, was that okay? Not as performance, but as general inquiry. And over time, your brain starts reading the room before you need to ask. The faces and bodies of other people are giving you the data constantly, and your brain has the innate capacity to read it efficiently, effectively, and accurately. Most people with low emotional intelligence have trained themselves to ignore this data. By the way, I put together a free guide that covers the exact statements to use when someone gets defensive, when they reject feedback, when they go completely silent, and when their apology is not really an apology. It's built around the same method I use with executives and incarcerated people I've trained inside maximum security prisons. The link is in the description. Here's the sixth indicator that somebody has low emotional intelligence. They make every conversation about themselves. You're talking about something hard. Within 30 seconds, they've redirected it back to their own experience, not maliciously. The brain defaults to what it knows, and the only emotional data most people have immediate access to is their own. The result? The other person stops feeling seen. They feel invalidated. They stop bringing you the real stuff, and over time, the relationship loses depth. The fix is not to ask more questions. That's surface level. The real skill is in affect labeling, directed outward, naming what somebody is feeling. When someone's talking, name what you're hearing underneath the words. You feel frustrated. You feel overlooked. You feel invisible. Nobody's listening to you. You feel unsupported and unappreciated. Do that before you say a single word about yourself. When people feel genuinely heard, they don't need you to fix anything. The conversation changes completely. Now, I want to be direct with you about something before we wrap. None of these 6 signs means you are a bad person, or the person who has these signs is a bad person. They simply mean that the nervous system learned to protect itself, and the question is whether you want to keep letting it run the show. Emotional intelligence is not a fixed trait. It's actually a learnable set of skills. As I said before, the research shows that the brain is plastic and the nervous system can be retrained. Every single one of the 6 signs we covered has the same root cause, a nervous system that has never learned to regulate itself under emotional pressure. And the same solution for each? Affect labeling. Recognizing and naming the emotions with a simple you statement directed to somebody else or an I statement directed to you. Naming emotions in yourself and others with simple declarative statements. Not, I feel like you seem, just, you feel dismissed. You feel angry. Or for yourself, I feel dismissed. I'm angry. Now you have 2 ways to go deeper from here. First, if you want the free masterclass that covers the full method of how to calm any angry person and the neuroscience behind it, the link is in the description. Second, if you want to work through this directly with me, I do one-on-one coaching where we build this skill over 8 weeks. Every client who has done the work has stopped fighting. I back that with a full money-back guarantee. If you put in the effort and nothing changes, you pay nothing. So that's it for today, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these. We'll see you in the next one.